Who's Oscar? By now, we have all seen the video of Nina telling us that she is 100% certain that Ken has left Gypsy Rose. So who is Gypsy referring to in her video talking to Oscar?
Oscar? Listen, baby, I know I was a bad girl, but come on. You'd have to be crazy not to take me back.
Was this meant for Ken, who we were told just left Gypsy Rose? Or was this meant for Ryan, who has said he is filming again for Lifetime?
Who is Oscar? The Oscar video. The Oscar video. Oh, God. Was that even to me? Was that even to me?
Let's go back to when all these relationships started with Gypsy Rose. There's a lot of drama we need to cover.
My mother put a voodoo hex on me. She printed out a picture of Dan, and she printed out a picture of me, and she went to the store and got a mason jar and a cow tongue. She put the cow tongue in the mason jar with the two pictures and a little bit of my menstrual blood. Put it in a mason jar, buried it in the backyard, and said that you will never find love. You will never be happy. So I think that it's true. I'm sorry. I just think it's true because it's like every time I get close to someone, they leave me. Many men write to me in prison. That's how I met Ken. We got engaged in 2019, but it didn't work out. I was still such a young girl. I had so much to learn about relationships. And he left me. And it broke my heart. And so it's like I always bring it back to that curse where I'm like, I believe it's true. She never wanted me to find love or be happy.
Correctional facility. You may start the conversation now.
Hey, honey.
Hey, baby.
I just woke up not long ago, so my brain's a little foggy right now. Listen, I do my best to be honest with you. I do my best to tell you how I'm feeling in any given moment. I wanted to do the right thing and be upfront with you because I had a dream about my ex, and in that dream, I left you for my ex.
Oh, I don't know what to say.
You don't know what to say.
Yeah, it was just a dream, but, you know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know that there is that part of me that still has love for him.
Talk to her. Answer the question.
3 weeks.
Didn't I see you 3 weeks ago? I asked you, when's the last time you talked to him? Oh, it's been so long. Months. What makes you a liar?
Ask Ryan, I have always had a difficulty letting go of my ex-fiance, Ken.
In spite of all this, Ryan and Gypsy were married at the prison on July 21st, 2022. Ryan went home to Louisiana and waited 2.5 years for Gypsy to be released and come home. However, they did have some problems even before Ken came back around.
Okay, did you guys know that Gypsy Rose and Ryan were actually on the outs 4 months after their marriage? So back in November of 22, Gypsy Rose, just 4 months after she married Ryan, made a letter, and it began to circulate. And it was to her family, where she said that she had planned to file an annulment. The letter read, "My marriage ends with no fault to either of us. I just believe we're in different places." You can pause and read. Apparently, the letter concluded with her thanking all of her supporters. And it never came out exactly like what led up to it, but apparently it didn't go through because they're still together. Now, also, I've heard a lot of people talk about how doesn't it seem like Gypsy Rose should have been able to come out and live kind of like a single life without Ryan just like needing her right there. So let me show you this interview.
Now, both of your families suggested that you wait to get married until Gypsy's release. Why did you choose not to do that? What was the rush?
Well, you know, with us getting married, she was able to come live with me straight out of prison.
Right.
So that was important. You know, that's what we both wanted. You know, we didn't want to date and then, you know, she'd come out and be like, okay, I'm going 3.5 hours away from where you live. I'll talk to you later.
Right.
So it was one of those we just wanted to. You know, people did want us to wait some, but it was one of those where we knew what we wanted to do. And, you know, and it's you know, she's never got to live her life before. So it's one of those where, you know, our parents were like, well, let's let her live it. And that's what they did.
A couple days ago, I went to the bedroom, woke Ryan up. I said, I need to tell you something. He said, I was asleep. I said, I miss Ken.
He must have woke up quick.
He did, and he was like, you need to let that go. You need to let him go. You are married. And I'm like, I know I am, but I think that we both need to come to terms with the fact that I have 2 men in my heart, and he's still there in my heart. This is the day before Valentine's Day, too. Not only did I call Ken 2 weeks before the wedding, but the conversation that Ken and I had, I was honest with Ryan about it. I asked Ken, I said, if you don't want me to get married, then you need to tell me now.
And what he told you?
And he told me that I want you to do what makes you happy. I think you should wait. But he didn't say wait for me. If he would have said wait for me,
You wouldn't.
Then, a couple months after leaving prison, Gypsy tells Ryan she feels she would be happier someplace else, or with someone else. Ryan tells her to go call Ken and says she's probably been talking to him all this time. Gypsy says she hasn't been, but we find out later that's a lie.
I feel like I did the right thing on my part by filing for divorce. Like, regardless of what is going on behind the scenes with me and Ken, the right thing to do was acknowledge that this marriage is not what I want and not working, and file based on that.
I predicted it a long time ago.
That's awful to say.
No,
But
it's really true, though.
It's the truth.
She said it's the same one.
Because me and Ken never lost in touch.
But
You know,
see,
it got
that's what
boring.
makes
You know,
me...
it was like
Don't cut me
happy
off.
birthday and stuff. You cut me off. It
Okay,
got
maybe I'm
less.
late.
It got less and less. Like when they first split.
You played a big
we
role
talked.
in their thing.
Well, you
though.
know, she needed to know the real reason why he ended
Did
it.
she?
Yes, she did.
He
Because
should have told her
had-
that, not you.
Imagine you're married and the last thing they say is, I love you. I hope you know that. Oh, I still love you. I've always loved you. And they say that to your face, and then you never see them again. That's what happened. Our family come and scooped her up and never got to see her again. And that's my wife. That's hard. That's hard for anybody, guys. I'm just being real. That is so hard.
Fallen out of love with her, or I didn't care about her, or that I met somebody else, or it wasn't any of those things. There were a lot of people that were kind of in my ear about what our relationship was doing for her and how it was affecting her in a negative context. I felt that I was hindering her from self-development. That was what ultimately led to our separation. And in hindsight, I didn't realize at the time, I mean, it makes so much sense now, but like when somebody is kind of codependent like that, and I would say that Gypsy definitely was, that role is just going to be fulfilled by somebody else. that she had reached this new platform of fame, that she now has hundreds of people writing her with ill intentions, sure. I mean, I don't know, you know, but a lot of them I don't trust. And that's what happened, like almost immediately.
Were you supportive of her in a new relationship?
No. I wasn't supportive of any of her other relationships. And I've seen interviews that she's given talking about me, that she was devastated, you know, and that it was hard for her. And I mean, like, even just small components, like her reaching out to me right before her wedding and phone conversations that we've had since.
So, just set the record straight, you and Gypsy don't talk, right?
No.
When's the last time you spoke?
The last time Gypsy and I spoke was right before she got out of prison. I made the decision that I thought was best at the time and the environment that I was in and the people that I had in my circle. You know, I can't do anything to change it, but all I can say to her now is that I really honestly hope that you have real joy in your life, and I'll always defend you. And I just hope that you get everything that life has to offer.
How have I changed in the last 7 years?
You're more transparent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're still the same impulsive, like, do what you want type person. It's a good thing.
Are you going to remind yourself of that when things get hard?
How much more rough could it get?
Rough.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
I mean, I trust that he loves me. I trust that I love him. But that fear is there. And right now it's, I'm happy again. And I don't want to do anything to mess it up.
On Ryan's last TikTok live, he said that he was filming with Lifetime again. Then Bree, Gypsy's friend, showed Ryan's DMs to Gypsy. "You look so good as a brunette. Miss your voice, you know I do. You still have my heart. I still only have eyes for you. Gypsy Rose, you really are the most beautiful woman in the world. Just being honest." It's clear that if Gypsy Rose and Ken Urker have broke up, that Ryan would take Gypsy back. If Ken broke up with Gypsy, then the whole baby shower thing was just an act for People magazine and the Lifetime channel. It seems to me that Gypsy likes to play games with other people's emotions and break a lot of hearts. Remember, she was with Nick Godejohn and Dan Glidewell at the same time in 2015 as well. So what do you think? Who is Oscar? Who would be crazy not to take Gypsy Rose back? Who will she be with when the filming for the Lifetime channel is over? Please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you all.